player that would get you excited, get you pumped, get you to stand up and go, yeah! I mean, there are, I think, some players that I do think will make Packer fans say, yeah, and others say, what?
Dad,
And some will say, okay. So,
my God.
You can chime in on who's your okay, who's your what, and who's your yeah pick.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton with you. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
We are on the ESPN Madison at YouTube, so make sure to watch us on there if you can. You see Molly Brown in her Iron Jock ESPN Madison hoodie, Matt Hamilton in his maybe illegal Sand Valley Brewers shirt, and
Slightly.
I am wearing my Milwaukee Bucks sweatshirt in honor of
Brutal.
hopefully they don't
Kyle
get
Kuzma.
in honor of the, or Tayshaun Prince or Torian Prince.
Torian Prince.
Tayshaun Prince was a good player for the Pistons. Torian not a good player for the Milwaukee Bucks. How about that, though? Good on Kyle Kuzma. What a stat line.
We're going to win the six.
I think it only happened one other time this year. Play 20 minutes and do
Brutal.
butt kiss.
0 for 5 for field goals.
Yep.
0 for 2 for three-pointers. He had
No rebounds,
nothing.
no
No
assists.
blocks,
rebounds, no
no
assists,
steals.
no points.
No nothing. It'd be one thing if
What
it's
is
like, okay, you
PF?
were playing good defense.
Personal fouls.
Two personal fouls.
Oh, wow.
So he did something.
It's his highest stat.
Brutal. It was a tough one for the Milwaukee Bucks. Hopefully it gets better for them. Dame has been upgraded to questionable for tonight.
Not tonight. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, excuse me. And then also a little bit of Brewers news, which we'll get to later. Craig Yoho, the next great pitching hope for the Milwaukee Brewers, has been called up. He has a 0.00 ERA in the minor leagues. 18th best prospect in the Brewers organization. One of their best, if not their best, pitching prospects. So that'll be exciting, and the Brewers do play tonight, 8:45. So that's getting pretty close to my bedtime, so I don't know if I'm watching much of that or listening to much of that game, but
Make it through
I
one
listened
inning.
to a ton. I listened to the entire game on Friday. Awesome.
Oh, because you were
Sounds of summer.
driving?
Yeah, because I was driving.
There
so
you go.
I had to sit and find the other stations that were picking it up
Our
as I got
affiliates, yeah.
further away. Yeah.
yeah, because Good Karma Brands is the flagship for Brewers baseball, and ESPN Madison is the Madison home for Brewers baseball. But we have a lot of fun stuff today. Get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talking text line. This is more. And I want to get into Goody. Good old Goody. He spoke today. And before we get into what he had to say, I want to get to basically The Athletic was working its way through some of the best draft classes, best GMs over the last few years. And I thought, hey, why don't we take a peek at what The Athletic thinks of the Green Bay Packers? Because I believe what Sports Illustrated a couple weeks ago said that the Packers draft not maybe all that it's cracked up to be, that maybe the Green Bay Packers need to stop reheating their own nachos, which is now my new phrase. Instead of smelling your own farts, it's kind of disgusting. And
Yeah, it's really disgusting.
reheating your own nachos sounds a little bit more fun.
Just don't combine the two, because that'd be really gross.
Farts and nachos.
You know, that broadcast at school is really paying off there for Molly Brown. Don't smell your own nacho farts.
Gross.
It's like nacho cheese, nacho farts.
Gross.
So I wanted to get to The Athletic, and we're going to kind of just gloss over. So we're going to kind of touch on it a little bit here, and then we're going to get to our side of the limited poll question. But I want to give you some context here, Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, and our listeners. And so The Athletic started with grading the top teams over the last few years as far as draft classes. And do you want to know who number one in that draft class was?
Let's hear it.
The Detroit Lions. They had 12 top 50 picks. They have 13 Pro Bowls out of those 12 12 top 50 picks. 35 starting seasons. So obviously you're just piling up the players there. Penei Sewell,
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Jeff Okuda was a bad pick, number 3. And they survived this. Number 3 overall in 2020. That was a bust. And then they obviously hit on Amara St. Brown, 112. Number 112 in 2021. Here's what he said. Brad Holmes' first 3 classes, aided by the 2021 Matthew Stafford trade, featured Sewell, Aleem McNeil, St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, Kirby Joseph, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, and Sam Laporta.
It's insane.
Detroit has put on a masterclass on how to build an organization from the ground up. So is it fair to say that he's the best GM in the NFC North?
Pretty damn good, right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
no arguing against it.
I'm kind of like saying, yeah, Jim, obviously the North, but what about in like
The league.
the NFC or the league?
They're number 1 overall in the
That's
league
what I'm thinking.
as far as
like,
the draft.
The only one that I could say maybe you can make an argument for is the Eagles.
They're like
Yeah.
number 2 on the list.
Because they've been great and they got it done.
Yes. So I want to go to the worst in the NFC North as far as this is just the draft. And there are some caveats into it, but the Minnesota Vikings finished 26.
That's
On this
surprising
list.
to me, actually.
Well, if you get deeper into it, you can see why.
Okay.
1, 8 top 50 picks, 4 Pro Bowls, 32 starting seasons. Justin Jefferson was their best pick. Worst pick was Lewis Seen. I don't even know who that is. Number 32 overall pick, 2022. Best value, Cam Bynum, number 125 in 2021. And maybe, Molly, you can explain. Dallas Turner has been a bust so far, hasn't done anything.
Okay.
So, but then not getting anything from J.J. McCarthy or Dallas Turner last year impacted Minnesota's numbers because the front office has done a nice job with picks, including Jefferson, Darisaw, Jordan Addison, Ezra Cleveland, and more. So that's probably why you thought they'd be higher. Still, McCarthy and Turner are the only top 20 selections Minnesota has had since 2020. If McCarthy pops, they're going to fly right up the list, and maybe they can figure out how to get more out of Dallas Turner.
I mean, they're clearly banking on McCarthy, too. The way they've organized and structured this offseason, getting rid of Darnold, like, they believe they have something there. So that, to me, is more of like jury's still out than McCarthy was a bust or whatever at this point.
Yes, and now I want to get to the Green Bay Packers that are on this list here. And for the Green Bay Packers, they had 10 top 50 picks, 0 Pro Bowls, 35 starting seasons.
In the last what?
3 drafts at least, yeah. That's
I was going to say 3. Okay.
The Packers believe in internal player development as much as or possibly more than any other team in the league. They will take chances on first-rounders who might need more time. Love and star edge Rashawn Gary are examples. Right now, though, Green Bay is still waiting for jumps from Van Ness, Devontae Wyatt, and Jordan Morgan. The Packers haven't drafted poorly of late, but they certainly could have done a lot better in a few areas.
I don't know how they can say the last sentence, but the Packers haven't drafted poorly of late. I mean, Lucas Van Ness, that was only 2 years ago. At
Right.
13,
But
that's a pretty poor
when you
pick.
mix in Cooper, so it's like they have not
Suppose.
had. It's been fine, and I
Like,
think
Wyatt's been fine, but he's been a starter his entire career. Quay Walker's been fine. He has been great, but he's been a starter the entire time. So
Yeah,
like,
but are they starters because they have to be starters? Because that's pretty much what it feels like.
I just think they're just good pro football players, but they're not Pro Bowl caliber. They're not going to make any all-pro teams, but
I think they're Jim's word. They're fine.
and
They're
it's
not
over
good.
the last 5 years, so I was a little wrong on that. The GM for the
Okay.
Lions was obviously only there the last 3 years, but it's been over the last 5 years is how they've been grading it. So no Pro Bowlers drafted over the last 5 years ain't great.
no, that's a knock.
And there's a lot of value placed on specific to position because it says on that list that the Packers' best pick over that span is Jordan Love.
Right.
Yeah, that's what
Which-
I was just looking at.
If you were saying who's the most, like who's the best at their position, it's probably Jaden Reed, Edgerrin Cooper,
Yep.
Zach Tom is listed on here as best value and might be the best overall pick from the Packers. But because Jordan Love adds more overall approximate value, which is the metric they use to measure this, he's the one who's seen as their best pick. So when you draft a quarterback in the first round, it's not cheating, but you get a big bump for that.
True, so they could even
Still kind of
And
jury's
Van Ness
out
was-
on Jordan Love.
no matter what, where they picked him, it's going to be fine. Again, I'm saying this. I'm of the belief that Jordan Love is not going to make some massive jump forward. He will continue to get marginally better because he's going to work hard and he could have up and down years. But I don't think you're going to see him jump into the Aaron Rodgers status. I'd be shocked if you see that in Green Bay.
I would too.
But I think he still could be a quarterback. You could still get to a Super Bowl. You could win with them. He's not going to be that multiple. He's not going to have multiple MVPs. I'm not even saying he couldn't put together the right season.
Yeah.
That it all works well.
I'd be shocked if Jordan Love could go out and win an MVP in the NFL. with all the competition he's got.
Well, I agree.
Which, I mean, you have to be an elite quarterback to win an MVP. I think Aaron Rodgers kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but he made it seem like it was so much easier to get an MVP because he got them so
For
often.
our last 30 years, we have 7 of them. Like, that's
a high
spoiled.
expectation.
Yeah, that's a
Totally.
real
So
high
I want
bar.
to get to where do you guys think Chicago falls in this? If them off the list, and I didn't text it to you. Above or below the Packers is basically the question.
Probably above.
Yeah.
All right, they're number 11, 9 top 50 picks, 2 Pro Bowls, 41 starting seasons. So more starting seasons over the last 5 years, more Pro Bowls over the last 5 years than the Green Bay Packers. And best pick, Caleb Williams. Worst pick, Justin Fields. Best value, Braxton Jones.
Poor Justin Fields.
Well,
Poor
and
guy.
here's where it does get a little deeper on Justin here. Finding talent through the draft hasn't been a problem for Ryan Poles. Drafting Fields before the team was ready, though, that hurt. The Bears have struggled to find pieces that mesh well together and have fallen behind the deepest division in football because of it.
So just thinking about the Bears, the year that they did that massive deal in order to get like the first round pick in order to be
From
able
Carolina?
to pick, yes,
Yeah.
that whole deal, like, does that go into this too, do you think? Because in my mind it does.
At
In
least
this
a-
ranking, it does not.
But it gives them more. It does give them more picks. So like out of that, they got Darnell Wright, who is their starting right tackle. Tyreek Stevenson, who had the big bone in the play, but it's still their starting corner. So they have a starting corner, a starting right tackle. They got DJ Moore, Caleb Williams out of that.
Can we also talk
Plus-
about how they dodged Bryce Young?
But they also still have
True.
Like, they didn't get Bryce Young. That is a win in itself.
Their first and also their first second round pick this year is Carolina's as well. So they still have one more pick to go.
Crazy.
They got such a king's ransom for that pick.
Yes.
I hope the Panthers are happy with
And honestly,
where they're sitting.
it was a huge gamble on their part because Caleb universally viewed as the top prospect. Carolina was not supposed to be abysmal. The Bears thought they were probably getting like a 10th, 11th overall pick when they made that trade. Carolina was not tanking. They were getting Bryce Young. They signed Adam Thielen. They had a new coach. They were trying to go win.
Yeah.
So like that just broke in their favor.
Brutal.
And all that set aside, this list also is ranking based off of approximate value per player.
Yeah.
So that doesn't even take into account extra assets that other teams would have. This is like a per player basis. How good you are drafted per player basis. Sorry, I can't say that even once fast.
All right, so I want to get to. So we talked about Goody and his draft philosophies and where the Athletic has him ranked. The Sports Illustrated a couple weeks ago did not have the Packers ranked that high as far as drafts. And look, he is good. His drafts have been better, at least more league average over the last few years. He had a couple just big whiffs of just like almost Fs for the draft. Even the Jordan Love draft outside of Jordan Love, and I know that's a big part of it, complete garbage. So like they got nothing out of that except for Love. And and obviously Love's a good player, but still like
all you need is love.
That's apparently all Goody. That was Goody's philosophy. But I wanted to get to two things from Goody. First, this one, it's stuck in my craw, and it's a little bit meaty-ish, but it's also like, Goody, can you not answer the question like this? So he was asked about the RAS scores that we all hear about, that we see everywhere.
Yeah, so we don't use RAS score at all. We don't have anything like that. We have we do have some analytic scores that our analytic people do on their own that measures, athletic traits and other things. But we've never really used an RAS. I know what that is. We've never really used that in any whether it's free agency, the draft, or anything like that. So.
Is he joking?
No,
What?
because here's the thing that really gets me mad about it, because he says RAS score or anything like that. But then you go on to explain you do
Something just like it.
So like you are just parsing hairs. You're getting caught up in the semantics. Right. The Brewers don't use the same pitching lab as the Cubs use, but they're all doing the same thing. You might not call it the RAS score.
It's RPS, the relative Packers score.
Right, exactly. Like
It's different analytics.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's all this. Like it's so pretentious.
It does. It does.
And also, you didn't.
I know what that is. We've never really used that.
I am aware of what the RAS, is that what you said? Yeah, I'm aware of what it is.
Also, I'm very confused because don't you I don't know what Lucas Van Ness's score was on for an RAS score, but
High.
he was just a very athletic person that really showed nothing in college. He wasn't the starter, was basically a project that we've talked about it for the last 3 years now. Isn't that exactly how they picked somebody like Lucas Van Ness is based on this exact score?
Yeah, but it was
Like, is there anything else?
It was their score. It wasn't the RAS. It was the Packers' score.
Yep.
He was a 9.4.
It's not going to be that far off.
It's crazy.
It's like how teams are like, well, we don't use Pro Football Focus anymore or whatever. Like, okay, but you use your own analytics. Like,
Right.
it's basically Pro Football Focus.
You call it something else.
Yes.
In his last 2 seasons at Iowa, he only had 19 tackles for a loss and 13 sacks in 2 seasons. That's what the
Hey,
Packers
that's a lot more
drafted
than,
Lucas Van Ness off of.
That's a lot more than Shamar
Let's go.
Stewart. He only had, what, 4.5 sacks?
3.5.
Oh, 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. 1.5 last year, 3.5 total.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you might not like have an RAS score, and you know what? I'll even buy that you have buried your head in the sand like an ostrich, and you don't even know what the RAS score is. But
I know what that is.
somebody in your organization handed you a spreadsheet on a file drive or on your computer or something,
A file drive. This is how you know that Matt doesn't work in an office.
and he took a good look at it and was like, yeah, based on all these numbers, like, Goody, you admitted to using something exactly like the RAS score.
Right. Yeah.
I know what that is. I don't.
Why
I've never
can't
really used
why
that.
can't you just be normal? Hey, do you guys use the RAS score? Technically, we don't use the RAS score, but we essentially have our own
Version of it.
Our own version of it.
Yeah.
End of story.
I know what that is.
What's this?
We've never really used that.
What's this NFL draft? What is? That's not how we refer to it as. We call
We
it
call
player.
it player acquisitions.
I was gonna say player acquisition day. Like, what's this draft?
Yeah.
I don't understand. God, 40-yard dash. We actually do 40.1 quarter.
Yeah, we
So-
do a 40 meter, so it's just a
We have,
little bit
we do have some
longer.
analytic scores that
More
our
physically
analytic people do on
demanding.
their own.
Golly.
Like the idea of playing dumb on it, that honestly is disconcerting. If my GM's like, I don't know what an RAS score is. Come on, you know what it is. Just say you don't use it.
Right.
But like, I
Yeah.
hate when people are or people like, I don't. What are they saying about me on Twitter?
I don't like
Really?
You know
parsing
what
words
they're
as much
saying.
like this either. Too like I get what you're saying, Goody. You don't use it. Like I know you know what it is. I'm fine with this. The jargon he's trying to pull off here. The problem is your history shows that is what you look at. Like it shows that your production does not mean as much as like perceived potential. And the
Right.
only way you get perceived potential is by looking at these scores. Like, oh, look how fast he is. If we could just teach him how to tackle, he could be really good. Or look how strong he is.
Look how
To your
high he can
he
jump.
hasn't earned he hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt on this. Like Belichick can do that. It's charming then. Well, not anymore, but like he could have. Like you can do that at some point. Got to have some rings. We'll get to Daniel and Landscaper, and you can chime in on the Goody comments, 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. List is more. I know that the internet was abuzz with annoyance with Goody on this. But also, this annoyed the bejesus out of me, and I think it created a lot of fun memes online. He would like to add more picks, or not that one, I'm sorry. He wanted to talk about, basically, you do not need a first-round pick to contribute right away. So let's hear this.
Do you need your first round pick to contribute right away?
No, I mean, I think we'd love to, but I mean, I think a lot of you guys have been around here. You know, it's great when they do, but that's not always the case. I mean, the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. If you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, you know, and we try to stay away from that drafting for need. We try to just, you know, take the best player available if that's possible. But most of the time, a guy's impact in his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything.
Newsflash, they need a lot of people on their roster. I don't know how you can say
contribute.
this. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, again, like, you don't need water every day, but, like,
You probably should have
best
some.
practices is to drink your water goals every day. So, again, it's just...
who are you fooling? Who do you think you're fooling? My problem is, like, Goody, do you really think all of the Packer fans that are listening to you are, like, eating this up? Are we all that stupid where you can literally say the last thing you would want a GM to say, any other team in the NFL, and you think it flies in Green Bay? What are we, just like a bunch of, like, podunk cheesemakers that don't know what the heck we're talking about? Like, this is
I know
crazy.
what that is. We've never really used that.
Every other team has their goal is to get a first rounder that is a contributor early.
Right. Outside of quarterback. Like, I mean, even now, quarterbacks.
Yeah.
What, 8? How many went in the first round last year?
So many people want to hit on that rookie
7? quarterback
in that rookie
6
skill
quarterbacks
deal.
in the
6
first round last
quarterbacks,
year.
and they all started.
At some point.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Goody, this is such a load of baloney. I just can't handle it right now.
I want to get to our
I
side.
know what that is. We've never really used that.
He's making me so upset. He would not be my friend if
The
we were
talking
interviewing
text
him right
line
now.
is upset too.
You would be gushing over him. Don't even. You'd be a little ass
Well, maybe
kisser.
he could explain himself out of it. Like, I'm not saying he's dug a hole he can't get out of quite yet, but this is bad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's honestly, Matt's not getting, his favorite line to quote that nobody ever knows. Are you trying to touch my butt, Dewey?
You just
Dewey?
touched my butt, Dewey. I know your tricks. Did you just touch my butt,
I
Dewey?
know your tricks,
I know your
Goody.
tricks.
I know your
Scooty.
tricks, Scooty.
So our siding limited poll question: do the Packers need a day one starter with their first round pick? 844-770-3776. That's the Cardinals Talking text line. List is more. Do the Packers need a day one starter with their first round pick? Molly, you want to tell us about Make 'em Believe?
Yeah, you remember the moments from that magical March back in 2015. Frank Kaminsky leading the charge for Bo Ryan and Wisconsin in a run to the championship. Relive it all with Made 'em Believe. On June 26th, join Frank, Sam Decker, and Coach Bo Ryan for an intimate night at the Orpheum Theater in Madison to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. Tickets are now on sale at uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. This is Jim, Matt, Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison, because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. They have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s are Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
At Metro Ford of Madison, you pay what employees pay. Customers pay employee pricing on all in-stock new Ford vehicles. This month, drive away in the 2025 Ford Explorer with financing as low as 5.9% for 72 months. $16.53 cost per thousand borrowed. Or get the 2024 Ford Mach-E with financing as low as 0.9% for 72 months. $14.27 cost per thousand borrowed. Hurry! These offers end April 30th. Head to Metro Ford of Madison or visit MetroFordofMadison.com today.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like the Dam Bar, Caribou Tavern, Rips Bar, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
Greg Scalzo here for Buckin' Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buckin' Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buckin' Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buckin' Honeys.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. If you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, and we try to stay away from that drafting for need. We try to just, take the best player available if that's possible. But most of the time, a guy's impact in his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything.
That's Goody saying, if we get some production out of our first-round pick this year, call that cherry on top. It's the old, if we get something great philosophy of the Green Bay Packers with their first-round picks. And honestly, it shows.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton with you in the Everlight Solar studio. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. Chrissy Birdsall has joined us in here as well. You get into the show, 844-770-3776 on the Cardinals Talking text line. List is more. Daniel Landscaper with a few different things to pop in on. Says Goody is a dysfunctional GM. Overall, he's terrible. Goody's an idiot. He's content on just staying relevant. Wish we could just admit that all and move forward. Brandon in Tulsa chimes in, Goody's smarter than all of us peasants, which I think there's a little bit of sarcasm into that as well. Goody, and that's what I wanted to get into. We kind of, I heard this term on the show Abbott Elementary, and I enjoy it better than the term smelling their own farts. But Goody he reheats his own nachos. Like, the whole team basically thinks that everything they do is the right thing to do. The Packers operate with an arrogance that they're the New England Patriots, that they are.
There was a moment in time where they had earned that right.
When
to
was
act
that?
Like that. Well,
I was going to say, I don't think they've ever had a dynasty.
Super Bowl with Rodgers, for a couple years after you win a Super Bowl, I think you have the right to think that you're smarter than everyone else. And if it works out, great. If not, you're back into the round of
but Goody wasn't
everyday land. But yeah, Goody wasn't a part of that, and it's been way too long since the Packers have had any sort of bragging rights where they've been able to say, we know better, and it's all these idiots not doing what we're doing. At some point, you got to think you're not the smartest guy in the room. Maybe you're just the most ignorant person in the room.
Some humility. Again, Sports Illustrated has been pretty critical of the Packers draft. Packer fans have been pretty critical of the Packers draft. And then obviously The Athletic just came out with a story, and the Packers it was not about the Packers, but the Packers were second to last in the division as far as drafting players. And there's an asterisk next to Minnesota, because if J.J. McCarthy hits, then they could leapfrog the Packers as well, depending on what happens in this draft here. So Detroit being number one, if you want to know why Detroit has ascended to be the best team in the NFC North and one of the best teams in all of football, it's because their GM has been kicking Goody's ass. Over the last 3 years, the GM for the Lions has kicked Goody's ass. Unquestionably. Goody is losing the arms race, whether it's through free agency or even the way he likes to do it, through draft and develop. The Lions GM is straight up kicking his ass, and Goody is walking around like the Packers are the Lions. The Packers own the Bears. The Lions own the Packers right now. Go back and look over the last...
And I hate to say it, the way the Bears have managed off seasons too, if Caleb Williams is what everyone says he is,
the Packers got a problem.
He is going the Bears are going to have one of the best setups that the NFC North has seen.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I don't think you can just. I think this article, and I think what's good about this article is that it's not just basing it off the offseason, because I think we've said it before. The Bears have been winning the offseason how many years? They haven't had anything to show for it, but a lot of that could be coaching too.
Well, I was going to say, according to this article is breaking down the draft. So according to this article in The Athletic, the Packers are only better than the Vikings as far as drafting players over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Now, there are mitigating factors for the Bears. They haven't ever been able to figure out their coach. But you know what they did? They spent $13 million on the most expensive and sought-after coach out there, and then they hired a bunch of assistant coaches who have either been head coaches or guys like Eric Bieniemy who have been longtime assistants. They probably have the most expensive coaching staff in the NFC North currently. And they've never had that. They've never invested into it. I don't know if it'll work. Mm-hmm. And you got to put Goody, obviously, as a GM in front of Ryan Poles. But at the same time, the Lions, and again, we're not talking about the Bears. There's a rivalry there, but we're not talking about the Bears because the Lions are the team that is kicking. What do they won 6 out of the last 8 games? They've ended the Packers season multiple seasons. They've won multiple divisions over the last 3 years. I mean, the Lions have come up, and we don't know. I mean, they're losing Ben Johnson and losing Aaron Glenn. We don't know what that's going to be as far as the effectiveness, but Dan Campbell is viewed as more of a culture builder. And the one thing I'll say until they prove otherwise is that Dan Campbell is the one that hired Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. So you got to at least give him one try to say maybe he knows coaching talent, and let's see who the next ones are.
Yeah.
And so you have to do that. Just like, well, I mean, LaFleur, it's different. Because the offensive side, his assistants stink. But thankfully for the Packers, LaFleur is the secret sauce. Like his offensive assistants are trash.
Well, and let's rephrase. They have been good in Green Bay, good enough to get scouted by other teams, and they haven't panned out for other teams.
But thankfully, LaFleur is the man, so like he makes the offense go. And finally, it looks like he's maybe hit on a defensive coordinator in Halfley.
Yeah.
Special teams coordinator is probably still up in the air as well. But
he might be the highest paid one, but he's not the best one, I don't think.
It's better than it used to be.
Better than it used to be, but still not great.
Yeah, so that's not exactly how you want to get into it. But our Siding Unlimited poll question is, do the Packers need a day one starter with their first-round pick? 844-770-3776.
That's such a silly question.
Talking text line list is more.
Because Goody said no, it doesn't.
Yeah, if we can, maybe we play Goody one more time and get Goody's answer to this question. Because, again, do the Packers need a day one starter with their first-round pick? That's Goody.
Need your first-round pick to contribute right away?
No, I mean, I think you'd love to, but I mean, I think a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. I mean, the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity.
Doesn't it really also, it screams trying to, don't blame me if the guy doesn't, it was a very self-serving answer.
Well, what's worse? Him, trying to set the bar low for expectations, or him truly believing this? What scares you more as a Packer fan?
True.
The fact that your GM truly, deep down in his heart of hearts, believes that no, you don't need a first rounder to contribute in his first year, or that he wants to set the bar so low that it's almost impossible for him to fail.
God, that's awful.
Yeah, what's more disconcerting?
Either one is a terrible, terrible option.
Exactly.
I don't even know where to vote on this.
That's why I really am having trouble with this Goody audio. I understand talking to the media, especially right before the draft, but everything you're saying is terrifying me.
Right. And like we were saying before, there's so many gaps on this roster. As fans, we need the Green Bay Packers to fill spots, and those guys need to perform. There is no other option but for them to perform. At least that's how I feel about it.
There's literally 2 spots, you need to find a corner that is a starter.
Exactly.
You need it.
If they get a running back, okay, he doesn't need to be outstanding his first year. I feel fine about that. Cornerback, need somebody.
Honestly, a lot of other positions. I wouldn't say we need a starting wide receiver. I think the ones we have are fine. They're not great, but they're fine. So, we are so light at cornerback.
Yeah.
Need. Mm-hmm. If there is an injury at edge, we're hooked. You might not need the guy to start, but if there's an injury, he will have to. Mm-hmm. And you certainly would hope that he is of the caliber to play in the NFL as a rookie.
Yeah, well, the opportunity. You talked about the opportunity side of it, or Goody said, some of it's based on opportunity. If
we got a real chance to spend 4 years developing somebody,
there's opportunities at cornerback to start right away. There's opportunity at wide receiver to start immediately. So, when you talk about opportunity and you talk about the first-round picks, get back to, Goody doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt because Jair Alexander absolutely hit. It didn't work out. I mean, obviously, it looks like it's not going to end the way you want it to end.
Didn't work out the whole time.
But it was a great first-round pick.
We had a time where he was great.
Rashawn Gary has perpetually underperformed whether it's draft position or his pay. He's not a bad football player, but he was picked 12th. He's not performing like the premier pass rusher the Packers thought they were getting at 12. And then they paid him like a premier pass rusher, and he is not a premier blue-chip pass rusher. He's good. He's not a bad football player. He's good, but he has not lived up to his draft position or his pay. Van Ness is a disaster.
Let's go!
Obviously, Wyatt is fine, but you want more than fine out of a first-round pick. Walker is fine, but you want more of fine out of a first-round pick. Eric Stokes was terrible.
He was good at first.
His rookie year was
They
fine.
got production out of him his rookie year.
And then he was injured and
Right,
terrible.
not what you're looking for out of a first-round pick. Yeah, so
And even then, he was the third corner contributing. He was behind Rasul Douglas and Jair.
True.
So
He
he
had the
a big
holding penalty
leeway.
against the Buccaneers that sealed the deal.
no, I think that
That was all Kevin King.
That was Kevin King?
Buccaneers.
That wasn't
Yeah,
Stokes?
everything
The
bad
touchdown
that
right
happened
before
against
half, that was Kevin King, too.
everything bad that happened against the Buccaneers was because of Kevin King.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, sorry for Kevin King, but it's true.
No,
Was
you're
he
not
on
sorry.
the deep ball too.
Oh, yeah, he
that
was.
was
Yeah,
him.
at
Scotty
the end of
Miller?
half.
Yep, that was him.
Where is he at? No.
Atlanta.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, their
Is
defense
he?
could be really good next
Wasn't
year.
he out of the league for a year? I feel like he was.
He's had a couple. Yeah, he's been in and out of the league. He's like a fringe roster player for the Falcons.
Jeez.
That's not great.
First
You know what
rounder.
is great, though? Carbon World Health. You can improve your mental and physical health with Carbon World Health because when you go work out, you're going to feel better. When you feel better, then you're going to look better. And when you look better, you're going to want to work out more. It creates a positive cycle for you. You also can ask them about hormone replacement treatment. Make sure that your testosterone levels are right for you, not right for your age, which means, look, ask about your mental health. Ask about you're able to kind of get up in the morning and get going like you used to. Are you building muscle like you used to? It's not just the simple things you think about with testosterone treatments. Also, you can ask about GLP-1s at Carbon World Health. And again, they have two locations, one in Sun Prairie, one in Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are going to do a new little segment that we're doing just around the draft. We're going to do it today, and we're going to do a different one on Wednesday because I'm off tomorrow. But today is going to be nightmare draft scenarios. So on the other side, we are going to share what we think a nightmare pick for the Packers would be from different perspectives, and then we're each going to be assigned a team to assign what is a nightmare pick for the NFC North if said team gets that player. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. And Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, now with 25% more coverage per bag, just $59.99 after $10 rebate.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at two convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
With head coach Matt LaFleur's first season in the books, Green Bay's championship window was wide open. However, on draft night 2020, they found themselves in a situation similar to 2005 and decided to go bold.
With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
Just like Rodgers after Brett Favre, Love would take over as the starting quarterback in his fourth NFL season, earning himself a huge deal as the face of the franchise following a breakout playoff performance.
Love zips it in there, and it's caught for the touchdown, Romeo Doubs. And the route is on in Dallas. Wow.
This Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities. Plus, membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
You got a reaction. You got a reaction, didn't you? You took a one orchid. You took a one orchid and turned it blue. Something better than nothing.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Chrissy Birdsall with us as well in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. You can. That's the Carlos Talking text line. Less is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question: do the Packers need to get a day one starter with their first round pick? Goody does not seem to think so. Most of our fans do believe that the Packers need a starter with their first round pick. 72% of you say yes. All right, so I teased it before. We are going to do two different segments here, one today, one on Wednesday. It is, it's draft season. Everyone gets silly. Everyone does mock drafts. I wanted to do one a little bit different. So we are doing one. It's going to be called the Nightmare Draft Scenario, and then we're going to do a Dreams one on Wednesday. The Nightmare one is basically, what do you think the nightmare pick for the Green Bay Packers would be? Now, obviously, Molly and Matt are going to provide a different perspective on that than I will. But then we're also going to do a nightmare pick for one team in the NFC North. We're all assigned a team. And again, what pick would work against the NFC North the most? We're all fans of NFC North teams here. So let's get into it.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for?
Draft week is here.
Know what you know and know what you don't know.
You ready?
You know things can change. First, second, third. You're expecting those guys to be good players, right?
The sleepless nights will come to an end, for better or for worse.
See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true.
Is this going to be the draft of our dreams or the draft of our nightmares?
Yeah, guys, you heard it from the foreboding voice there from our big voice guy.
Is this pole dancing?
Yeah, this isn't Friday. It's a Monday, Molly. Get out of here.
Pole dancing on a Monday.
Like Jim said, we'll all give our nightmare picks for the Green Bay Packers, the person we have our sleepless nights thinking that they might draft in the first round. And then we'll also give our nightmare pick for if that player ends up on another team in the NFC North, it's a nightmare for the Packers, or in Jim's case, it's a nightmare for the Bears. So why don't we start with the nightmare picks that we all have for the Green Bay Packers. Molly Brown, why don't you start us off? What is your nightmare pick for the Green Bay Packers?
All right, we've talked about this guy, and this goes hand in hand with our conversation that we're having about Brian Gutekunst saying that guys don't need to be productive right away. My nightmare pick for the Green Bay Packers is Shamar Stewart. The fact that he is basically a project, to me, he just screams another Lucas Van Ness on this roster, and that is not what we need. So that's why he's my nightmare.
So 6'5", 267 pounds. Now, again, one little caveat with this, forgot to nail it earlier, that we do want to pick someone that would conceivably fall to the Packers in the first round. And Stewart, he's all over the board. But here's what Matt Miller had to say about him. Defensive line coaches will be in love with Stewart's upside when they look at his film. His frame provides positional and alignment versatility, but his quickness and power off the ball should have them thinking about ways to get him splitting gaps and getting after the quarterback. He only had 1.5 sacks in 2024 while working in heavy rotation, but his 25 pressures show how much of an impact he can make.
So that's a poop sandwich. You literally just made a poop sandwich right there.
Scouts want to see.
He did.
Scouts wanted to see Stewart's potential during combine workouts, and he answered the call. Down 14 pounds from the Senior Bowl weight, Stewart ran a 4.59 40, jumped 40 inches in the vertical, and 10 foot 11 inches in the broad jump. Those numbers show elite explosiveness and traits that a good defensive line coach can unlock.
Does Brian Gutekunst know what his RAS score is?
Daniel Hunter was the comp for him.
Yeah, Daniel Hunter was pretty dang good.
Sorry.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a poop sandwich. That was a compliment.
Brian Bosworth.
Okay.
Absolute freak of nature that is a nothing burger in the NFL.
Matt going deep with that one.
Yeah.
Deep reference, Matt.
Yeah, how many years ago?
The Ba is famous for, he had the lightning stripe haircut on the side. He had a couple cool posters. Then he also got bulldozed by Bo Jackson, which effectively ended his career and hype.
Oof. All right, well, Matt Hamilton, we know your nightmare would be Brian Bosworth if he came back from the NFL dead. But who is your nightmare pick for the Green Bay Packers in the first round?
So I also had Shamar Stewart, but I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go a little off the board because I think a lot of people would really like this guy, but it's kind of my nightmare. Teteroa McMillan. Is he a stud wide receiver? No doubt. Is he going to be capable of playing in the NFL? Most likely. But the guy has already openly admitted that he is not into watching film. That to me means you don't want to get better. You are purely going to rely on your athleticism, and athleticism is something that will fade. And if you don't try and wrap your brain or catch your brain up to your athleticism, you're not going to be able to make that long career work out in the NFL. He just seems like too much of an issue. And for someone who doesn't want to study tape, we've seen what that has done to quarterbacks. You got your Jamarcus Russell, your not Baker Mayfield,
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel, like guys that don't want to put the work in. Even Kyler Murray had a couple years where he wasn't putting any work in, and it showed. This guy, if he's not going to put any work in, I don't want him on Green Bay. I would say Teteroa McMillan.
And I'll give you the scouting report here from Matt Miller. He basically says, so one, Tet McMillan, 6'4". T-Mac is another nickname for him. 6'4", 219 pounds, NFL comp Michael Thomas. A big play threat in the mold of Drake London or Mike Evans. McMillan feasted on defenses throughout the 2024 season. His 109.9 yards per game ranked 5th in the nation. He has the reach and length to win 50-50 balls, but he also has the acceleration to be a nightmare for yards after catch. McMillan projects as an immediate X receiver in the pros and a problem for defenders in the red zone. So Miller has him 22. Todd McShay has him 50 as a second-round grade because he's far more concerned with the lack of maybe perceived work ethic. It's hard to nail down for sure, but that is that's a smart one.
And I'm just going off like the scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
I didn't bring him in to chat with him. I didn't go down to Arizona with Goody
by
for
himself.
his pro day.
You didn't go with him?
He called me, and then I was like, we're not looking at RAS scores, but I can't go. He's like, we don't do RAS in Green Bay.
You can chime in on what you think would be a nightmare pick for the Green Bay Packers, 844-770-3776.
Well, Jim, do you have one as well?
Carbo's talking text line, list is more. Mine is Will Johnson. If he fell, I think that'd be a nightmare for me as a Bears fan in the rest of the NFC North. 6'2", 194 pounds, 7th ranked prospect in the NFL draft. Trayvon Diggs is his comp. NFL teams looking for the next Pat Surtain will love Johnson. He has prototypical size and speed as well as excellent ball skills. He grabbed 2 interceptions last season, both of which were returned for touchdowns. Despite battling through injury, Johnson allowed only 1 completion of more than 20 yards in 6 games. In the 6 games he played, and he's rarely thrown at. He has the talent and traits to be a great NFL corner right out of the gate. Johnson did not work out at the Combine and didn't participate in Michigan's Pro Day due to a minor hamstring issue. He has plans to hold a private workout for teams on Monday. So there's injury stuff, and there were some concerns that he's not elite with his speed, and that's why people want to see him run the 40 and see what some of his explosiveness is. But the only way he falls is that there's maybe not a clean bill of health. But
I was going to say, is that hamstring injury worrisome?
Toe injury.
Well, not to Goody. Well,
he just said hamstring.
There was a hamstring in here too. That's why he's
he
not.
has a hamstring and a toe?
Yes.
Oh my
minor.
goodness.
He didn't
Same
participate
side?
in Michigan's. He didn't participate in Michigan's Pro Day due to a minor hamstring issue.
Oh.
But again, Goody doesn't need day one.
And also, Goody loves hamstring issues, i.e., Christian Watson.
I know what that is. We've never
Love
really
him
used
some
that.
hammies.
Yeah, uneven hamstrings.
So on the other side, we'll come
suckers.
back and we're going to give the nightmare scenarios for the rest of the NFC North. Who do we not want to see in the NFC North from different fan perspectives? But if you want to see positive results, if you're going to pop the question, go over to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's custom jeweler, Madison's family-owned jeweler. You can get custom engagement rings. You can get custom wedding bands. You can get jewelry fixed over there. You can get yourself a watch. Plenty of great options at Madison's custom and Madison's family jeweler, Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly. You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Better now than later. Wisconsin football losing players to the portal, including highly touted receiver Mark Hamper and tight end Tanner Koziel. Luke Fickell joining Wildian Tausch, sharing his forward-thinking approach.
I don't want to find out on August 28th or September, whatever, in Tuscaloosa, that they don't really love what it is that they're doing. They aren't committed to their teammates. This is a little bit too much for them. I guess it's better that you find that out now so that you can continue to develop the people that you know deep down inside have it. They just haven't had the opportunity to be able to show it yet.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Other Light Solar Studio. You can see all of us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. By us, I mean Molly Brown, Chrissy Birdsall, Jim Rutledge, and Matt Hamilton.
Got a crew.
Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass as well. We are presented by Coors Light. Last segment, we did a Dreams and Nightmare little draft scenario here. And again, if you're just tuning in, basically what we did last segment is we gave the nightmare scenario for the Green Bay Packers if you're a Packers fan or for me as a Bears fan. So Molly Brown took Shamar Stewart. That would be her nightmare situation for the Green Bay Packers to draft him at number 23. The rules were you had to draft someone that could either conceivably be taken in that window. Matt Hamilton, Matt went with Tet McMillan, a wide receiver that has maybe some commitment issues as far as how committed is he to putting the extra mental work into playing football. Shamar Stewart is the Captain Underpants is what Molly called him last week. The winner of the Underwear Olympics, Captain Underpants, Shamar Stewart. Not a lot of production out of Shamar. And I went with, obviously, as a Bears fan, I don't want to see Will Johnson on the Packers. There have been some mocks having him fall to the Green Bay Packers, so I think that would be terrible because I think he's going to be a really good football player. So now we're going to do the flip side here. We're staying on nightmares, but now we're going to look at other teams in the NFC North. Who do you not want to see in the NFC North? And we're each assigned a team. So Molly, I believe
Molly will take the Minnesota Vikings, the team of her husband, unfortunately.
Yep. So my
unfortunate.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
Was that at my husband or at the Minnesota Vikings? You will never know.
I was about to ask. Unfortunate that your husband's team is the Vikings, or unfortunate that that's your husband.
You're never gonna know. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so my nightmare pick for the Minnesota Vikings is safety out of South Carolina, and I don't know if I'm going to say his name right, but Nick Emenwari?
Correct.
All right, so that is who I am picking. Just looking at what he did in the combine, he apparently broke records for a safety dating back to like 2003, which is crazy. But also, I have faith in Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator. I think what he's done with that team is just incredible. I'm surprised that he hasn't been picked up for a head coaching job yet, which is I understand all the other things that have happened in the past, but just based on the production of the defense the last couple of years under him has been crazy. And also, Harrison Smith is turning 36 this year, so they got to get him out.
What a guy to learn from.
Oh, for sure. He's incredible. And I mean, he's still great. Like, he's still incredible. I hate when the Packers go up against the Vikings just because you know that Harrison Smith is going to be on the field. But
Hitman Harry.
Mm-hmm. So
Good
that is why.
too.
Oh, have you golfed with him? I'm surprised you haven't curled with him. I mean, I guess he's not a tight end, but still.
What? Huh? I met him in Minneapolis.
Oh.
And you golfed with him?
We didn't golf, but we talked about golf, and he's a heck of a golfer, apparently.
So if I say that I'm a good golfer and I can talk golf with you, then that means that I'm a good golfer? You don't even have to see me play? Or is it because he's an NFL player that you're like, you're probably athletic? Your RES score for golf is probably off the charts.
On you, like pretty early in conversation, they're proud of it, and they're not lying.
Is that kind of douchey?
A little bit. Okay. But also, I
you do it
invited
too?
the question. I invited the question.
So, Nick Emenwari, safety, South Carolina, number 18 overall, according to Matt Miller. 6'3", 220. Derwin James is his NFL comp. In a safety class, light on star power, he stands out on playmaking threat on the back end of it. He has the size and speed to cover up tight ends and spy quarterbacks, and arrives at the football with power as a tackler. All right,
Matt Hamilton, then. You will give us the Detroit Lions. Oh, no, you'll give us the Chicago Bears. Excuse me.
Yes. And the funny part is, my nightmare is probably Jim's dream. Really hoping he goes in the top 9. Because at 10, if Ashton Genty is still available and the Bears take him, I will be mortified. They've got a guy in the backfield right now. Like, you need 2 yards, Swift will get you 3. But if you need 4 yards, Swift will get you 3. And I like that for the Bears. I want them to stick with that. If they got a dynamic running back to go, who, for all intents and purposes, is very similar to Jahmyr Gibbs as far as speed and size, we know Ben Johnson and what he's able to do with a solid backfield. Like, he made Jared Goff look like an all-star because that backfield was able to take pressure off of Goff. I would be extremely nervous when the Packers play the Bears if Ashton Genty's in the backfield.
LaDainian Tomlinson, Alvin Kamara are the comps for Ashton Genty. He would be
Alvin
the bell.
Kamara? Oh, my goodness.
Would be the bell cow for
old one.
For the Bears. They make DeAndre Swift a complimentary player, which also puts the Bears in a better situation. DeAndre Swift as your complimentary back.
Best,
yes. Genty led the nation with 2,601 yards rushing, 29 touchdowns. He had more yards after contact than the second leading rusher had yards overall. And he was consistent throughout. All right, so my pick here is, it's going to sound weird. I have the Detroit Lions as mine. Shamar Stewart. I think if Shamar Stewart goes to the Detroit Lions with Hutchinson, that defensive room, Dan Campbell, it's just one of those picks. Different reasons why he might be on the board than Jalen Carter. But like Jalen Carter, the Bears could have had him. They traded back. They got Darnell Wright. And part of their reasoning was up front that Jalen Carter had some off-the-field issues. They had a very young team. He had some maturity issues as a football player too. And they didn't feel like they were going to get the most out of this young man when their entire defense was incredibly young, devoid of leaders because they were in the middle of a rebuild. So they kind of said, we don't trust ourselves with Jalen Carter. And he obviously has been a star for Philadelphia. I think a guy like Shamar Stewart, his best chance to succeed is to go to a team like Detroit where he can be and put into positions to succeed, but then also, if anyone's going to get that football dog out of you, it's Dan Campbell.
Dog. Yeah.
It ain't Matt LaFleur, it ain't Jeff Hafley, it ain't Ryan Pohl or Dennis Allen or Ben John. It's Dan Campbell if I'm looking to the north. So he would be, worst case scenario, I think if he went to the Lions, I think the Lions would have another beast defensive lineman.
Did you purposely make the beat drop right when he said dog?
That was just perfect timing.
That was wonderful.
That was just perfect timing. Well
Poetic.
done, Jim.
Thank you. Yes, I've been working on that for a while. Go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. The Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl Happy Hour. We're going to be out there in May, so make sure to follow along with the show. We'll tell you when we'll be out there again in May. We'll enjoy ourselves, whether it's a burger, steak sandwich, fried calamari, seared sashimi, and, of course, a Coors Light. Make sure to say hi to Lee and Kevin over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this year's Sports Center Update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Milwaukee Brewers back at it today after they took the series against the Athletics over the weekend. Brewers put the hurt on with a 14-1 win against the Athletics on Sunday. Actually set a new franchise record with 9 steals, all of which came in the first 4 innings. Milwaukee stole 6 bases in the first inning, which is also the most by any team in a single inning since at least 1961, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. Brewers start a 10-game road series tonight out against the San Francisco Giants. Right-hander Quinn Priester set to start for the Brewers. Brewers also calling up their minor league spring training ace, Craig Yoho to the Major League roster today. Make sure to head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for all your Brewers coverage this regular season. Also, stay tuned to every game right here on 100.5 ESPN. First pitch tonight is at 8:45 p.m. Then we're just 3 days away from round one of the NFL Draft. ESPN Wisconsin has you covered all week from up in Green Bay. ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week live with Alex Strofe up at the Tundra Trio from noon to 2 each day. And then we've also got ESPN Wisconsin Draft coverage all day Thursday, Friday, including coverage of rounds 1 through 3.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Murr.
I'm the flower, it's Murr.
Mr. David Deerfield says Naughty Molly rears her dirty mind once again. Let's go with Texas A&M edge Shamar Stewart, the Underwear Olympics star. Shamar Stewart.
See, so what makes me excited about that is
Underwear Olympics?
Yes, Underwear Olympics. Actually, Captain Underpants is what I'm going to call him if they do end up getting him.
Perfect.
That'd be perfect.
God, I want that pick now.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you, along with Christy Birdsall, and Primetime Wollersheim. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776 on the Carbus Talking text line. This is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question. Do the Packers need to get a day one starter with their first round pick? 75% of you say yes. That's inspired by, and we'll hear from Goody here again in a second. That's inspired by Goody, who had an interesting take. Seen a little bit of a COA, like cover your own ass sort of thing of, they don't have to be good right away. Like Jordan Morgan wasn't good right away, contributing right away. Devontae Wyatt hasn't reached full potential. Lucas Van Ness hasn't reached full potential. Eric Stokes, if he reaches his potential, will be on a different team. They don't have to. I'm surprised Goody didn't say that in this upcoming clip here. Like, you know what? They don't even have to be good for the team that drafts them. Just matter if they become good, I still get credit for them. Like if Eric Stokes is good with Vegas, then Goody obviously
good pick. Goody,
yeah, good job. Let's hear from Goody on his first round pick philosophy.
Do you need your first round pick to contribute right away?
No, I think you'd love to, but I think a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. This is the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. If you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, and we try to stay away from that drafting for need. We try to just, take the best player available if that's possible. But most of the time, a guy's impact in his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything.
I get the best player available, but there should be a lot of cornerbacks available in that slot, in that 23 where they're picking. And so I'm sorry, for an example, if you had Shamar Stewart, which I know is kind of a need, as player number 17 on your board, and you have Harrison from Kentucky, the cornerback, is number 20 on your board, maybe just take the corner because it seems a little bit more of a surefire thing, and you need a starting cornerback. Mm-hmm. I get the best player available, but there are lines to be drawn here. Some common sense that isn't always common.
Yeah, if it comes down to that, I'm hoping that they pick Harrison out of Kentucky.
Or any corner. But if you have some stuff close, sometimes need, unless you guys disagree, sometimes need should trump where you think the best player available is.
Right, and don't get me wrong, if there was a really good edge rusher that was proven, I don't have any problem going with him in the first round. the whole project pick in the first round is what's really been grinding my gears, especially over the last couple of years with Goody and the way he tends to have this philosophy. If you don't believe they need to be starters, then you have no fear of drafting a guy that's clearly a project.
So at what round do you think it's okay for a player to be a project? Is it 2? Is it 3?
It kind of depends. Like the last couple of years, Goody had like 2 second-rounders. If you want to use one of them on a project, I get that.
It also depends on the team. It depends on what the team is. Again, if the Packers hadn't have Lucas Van Ness hanging around, I don't think 23 is a bad spot to take a project. But when you, and also at the same position, you're already working on another project. There's only, we're all homeowners here. Like, how many home projects can you have going on at once? Like, you can only focus your attention on so many rebuilds and remodels.
Like, I have like 5 that I need to do.
Like, you want to make sure that you are not diverting your attention. You're not going to
half started like 3.
Right, and they're already halfway.
You're Lucas Van Nessing your house right now. You're half starting.
It's got a lot of potential.
And in this
high
case,
RAS score.
This would be like you started to do like the shower and the tub in your bathroom, and then you're like, you know what? Also, I'm not skilled at those 2 things, and now I'm going to then put in a new floor, new vanity, and everything else. I'm going to start multiple projects in the same bathroom, and I'm not really capable of doing any of them. But I'm hoping over time I'll be able to be skilled enough to do them.
I'll get good at it, yeah.
Right.
For my next bathroom.
Right.
I'll watch enough YouTube videos.
Right.
Is that what Goody's drafting like? He's just watching like YouTube videos of drafts?
He's watching drafts.
I know what that is.
Or just watching
I
draft
would
day?
never really use that.
That's why Mark Murphy said it, that he was like, that's an incredibly accurate movie.
Again, draft day, Molly, I don't know if you were around for this. I said draft day up until basically the draft day trades was elite. But then, like, you just wouldn't take Devondre Mack number 1 if the value wasn't there. Like, you would then, people still wanted Bo Callahan in that situation, not to break down this movie again, but like, just trade the pick then. And you would have gotten some value back. Obviously, there was a lot movie magic needed to happen, a lot of drama in there. It just, the way it was done was too farcical to be like, oh man, it could have been an elite sports movie, but then in no world is that draft happening. Like the way it's executed.
I need to watch that movie. What year is that movie from? Off the top of your head?
I don't know. I know our friends from ESPN Cleveland are in it. I would say probably 2014.
It's that new.
2014, yeah. Wow. 11 years ago.
Kevin Costner, and then obviously Aaron Goldhammer, and I believe Tony Rizzo are in it too from ESPN Cleveland.
I gotta watch this.
And Jennifer Gardner. It's just a good time. It's not like, again, it's not cinema, but it's a good time until the end. Then it gets absolutely ridiculous. But
it's a movie, not a film.
Exactly. Let's hear. Goody was asked about T-Mac, Matt's guy.
Brian, there was the report that you were the only GM to go watch McMillan's workout in Arizona.
I was there.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
What?
Serious.
No, yeah, I was there. I don't know if I was.
Impressions of him throughout your
meetings with him. And I don't know if I was the only one, maybe the only one reported to be there. But
did I miss the
good.
joke?
Yeah, we had him up for a 30 visit as well, and we've kind of. He's a third-year junior coming out, so we've spent a lot of time with him. So it's been good.
What you guys missed there was that Goody was drinking a bottle of water, and as he was putting his bottle down from laughing so hard at his own joke, he accidentally bumps the mic.
What joke?
in Arizona.
No.
I was there.
Oh, you weren't?
Because I wasn't there.
Okay.
Oh, he said I wasn't there.
He said,
I thought
I wasn't there.
I was there.
He's like, I wasn't there. I was being sneaky.
What is he, Shaggy? Wasn't me.
In Arizona.
I thought we were talking like ruh-roh Raggy. I didn't know what Shaggy we were talking about.
But you caught me at Arizona's pro day. Wasn't me. But you caught Ted McMillan coming to Green Bay. Wasn't me. Like, what are we doing right now?
Fits the vibe of Arizona University.
What? Shaggy?
Shaggy? Yeah. Wasn't me. Come on.
You know,
That
it's
fits the
funny.
vibe.
A little Shaggy Scooby thing. There used to be a guy that played for Arizona whose name was Scooby. Scooby Wright the Third, I think his name was.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Just fun facts.
Deep dive on Arizona University.
Back in the good old days when Rich Rod was the head coach. Anyways, I thought he said I was there, and I was like, "What is the joke? I don't get it." So that was even more stupid.
Yeah, very funny.
When we have Jason on, we just have to ask him like, how many times did you roll your eyes during that press conference?
All those reporters were like me. They all gave that fake
Who
reporter
gave the laugh? Who gave the real laugh?
Okay.
That was Jason. I'm just kidding.
What the hell is that laugh? That wasn't remote. I think maybe did they laugh because he bumped the mic?
I think so, honestly.
Okay.
Play it again.
Okay.
Okay.
That was after the mic.
So they're laughing at him.
Yeah, I think so a little bit.
Yeah.
They're laughing with him.
He told a bad joke.
It's
and then
physical comedy,
bumped the
Jim.
mic. What is he, Chevy Chase now?
No, he's like
Okay.
Larry the
He's like
Cable Guy.
Carrot Top.
Who?
Yeah.
Carrot Top.
Larry the Cable Guy, FAU alum, Carrot Top.
Really?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The amount of
rock
FAU
comedy.
alums that I've found, like just from like doing this show with Jim, is astounding.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. A lot of owls.
Hoot hoot.
Yeah, I forgot all of them.
Any
not
draft
wasting any
prospects?
brain space of that.
Trey Hendrickson, but not a draft prospect, but Packer possible.
Yep.
2025.
Alfred
draft?
Morris would have been the other one you guys would know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about. Oh yeah, Greg Joseph, Packer.
Oh yeah, not Packer. He didn't make the team.
He wore the green and gold.
Nah, I guess you wear it at
Didn't he
at
play like
training
the
camp.
first 2 or 3 games?
I thought he did.
I think he did.
No, he didn't.
was the
He
kicker to
never
start-
played the game. Never played. Bet.
Okay.
Look it up. Google it.
I'm going to trust Molly.
God, I hope you're wrong now.
She's very confident.
He did not play. And now I'm
She's
starting to
very
sweat because you guys
confident.
are making me nervous, but I don't think he played. I don't think he was ever on the roster. I think they
right,
cut him
well.
and then they went with what's his face.
Did they sign McManus before the season?
No. The other guy.
Narwhal. The
Yeah,
Narwhal.
Narwhal,
You know what?
guys.
I
Come
think
on.
she's right.
I am right. I'm 100%. I'm
She's
always right.
She's right. She's
I'm
right.
literally always right. See, you guys are like my work husbands now, where like I can just be like, I'm right. You're always wrong. I'm always right.
How do you feel about having work husbands?
Well, don't tell my
Plural.
real husband.
Okay.
I guess it's probably better. It's plural.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
he
he feels less real.
Molly's husband's got K.
Yeah.
Molly's got us.
We played a lot of Kay Adams when you were out.
I'm sure you did. Jordan
out of-
Love made a star appearance there.
Out of respect for you, we didn't get to the audio until you were gone.
Thank you.
But
Like good work husbands do.
Rob Domofsky did also have a take, not as funny as Goody's. Nobody can be as funny as Goody, about what the Packers would do if Ted McMillan was there at 23.
And it sure sounds like McMillan is not going to be there at 23. I went through with a personnel person mid last week on just, where he thought the whole first round was going to fall from about, I think we started around 12 or 13 to where the Packers went. And, I mean, McMillan could go, he could go to Dallas at 12. I mean, I just don't see how he gets to 23. I do think that if he were to happen to be there at 23, the streak would end. I really believe that they would pick him. From what I was told, but I just don't think that's realistic.
Matt?
I don't think it's realistic that the Packers take a wide receiver in the first round. So, I mean, I get it. And don't get me wrong. I didn't say Tetaroa wasn't going to be a good player. I just think he's limited when you're not going to work out your mind the same way that you work out your body. You're limited for how long you are going to be able to compete in this league. When you slow down a step, you've got to outsmart defenders. You've got to win with your brain as well as your brawn. And that doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's not willing to do work on tape is going to be able to do that. He might be a fine rookie. I'm sure he'd be fine. I think he'd be a starter on the Packers.
So, to your point,
don't know if he's going to be like. If you're going to go in a first round, I'd love to find like somebody who's going to be like a cornerstone to your offense going forward.
To your point on this, and it also applies a little bit to Shamar Stewart, we talked about with how many remodels you can have going on. Who and the Packers offense, because Jordan Love seems like more of a quiet lead by example, maybe doesn't really know how to, I think Jason kind of alluded to this, Jason Wilde doesn't, or is still coming into his own as far as being a taskmaster sort of quarterback, where you're like, I gotta get on someone's case to make sure they're doing their work, to make sure that they are doing their job, a micromanager. So who's getting the most out of McMillan? Even if you believe the coaches, you still need players to do it. Reed's a youngster.
Mm-hmm.
Watson's still young. He's not a vet in this league where you're like, this is the guy. Romeo Dobbs is a nice hard worker, but Jordan Love, like when you're this young, you don't have the vets in there to be like, hey, young man, like you need to do this. You're going to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Jordy Nelson on the back end of his career, or Greg Jennings or Donald Driver at the back end of their careers. The Packers don't have, when you get rid of everyone who is over 30, it's the same thing could be made on the defensive side of the ball. Kenny Clark is the only guy that could be, hey, young guy, here's how you make it.
Right.
Here's how you make it in the league.
Yep.
Look, your rookie contract's great, and that $15 million is great, but do it right, and you can turn that $15 million with your skill set into $80 million.
Yeah.
And then you can have a successful career. The Packers don't employ anyone over the age of 30, so who's that guy for McMillan or for Stewart?
Shouldn't it be the guy who is demanding they go out and get a true number one receiver?
Josh Jacobs?
It's probably Josh Jacobs. But on that same note, this Packers team is unique to a wide receiver coming in because there is so much youth and there's no clear-cut number one. Like, McMillan could go right here. I have him at 12 to the Cowboys.
Yep.
You're behind CD, bud, and you might never get above CD. Like, your path to being the number one wide receiver on a football team is wide open in Green Bay. So you can hope that the realization that it's within reach could be motivating. It could also not be. Like, you don't have any guidance from a veteran. So, like, I get both sides of it, but I also see it like you're going into a spot where you could come out of the preseason as the clear-cut number one for a football team because they don't have the right now. So, like, it could be a really good position for him if he decides, like, hey, I can take this super seriously. I can be number one, make number one wide receiver money on that contract down the road. But, like, you go to Dallas, you're competing with CeeDee Lamb for that number one spot.
Yes, for year one, but like if you succeed, they'll let CeeDee Lamb walk, and you'll get paid.
Eventually,
in a perfect world,
but it's CD.
In a perfect, you still let them. If these guys get paid, you let them walk. I mean, when you're talking 30, 40 million, like some of these receivers, it could be 2 or 3 years. He could still eat. But in Green Bay, ideally, you have a driver or a Cobb. You have one of those guys who's your 4th or 5th receiver that's in there that can tell McMillan, like, yeah, you're the guy. You can, no fate but what you make. Looking to elevate your outdoor living space, the Brewers Company is Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture, exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles and colors, and made with durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather may bring. Many sets from deep seating to dining can be custom designed to your style. Find a time to swing by their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Brewers Company, your outdoor living experts. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We don't speak about
Speak
her.
about rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin implemented a document management and workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems. Junior Achievement Vice President of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, highlights the positive impact.
That impact has made it much more streamlined for us to handle the entire process from receiving an invoice to having it paid.
How has streamlining your accounts payable workflow benefited Junior Achievement's mission?
It has allowed us to be more on mission and strategically reach out and expand our impact to be able to reach more students.
If others are looking for workflow automation solutions to better serve their clients or customers, what's your suggestion?
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. end the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Sally at a late night dive bar. She don't dance, but she downs her drinks. Heard through a friend she's a born again wild card. She was telling me wild things. She was telling me wild.
I'm so excited to get my journey at Carbon World Health started at their brand new location located in the Prairie Lake Shopping Center. You've heard Jim Rutledge talk about them for years now, how he has all the different recovery things over at their other location in Madison. But this is a brand new state-of-the-art facility that will feature Carbon's innovative services, including Botox, hydrofacials, M-Sculpt, IV therapies, and so much more. Stop in today, get started on your health and beauty journey.
She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream as well. Primetime Wollersheim, Chrissy Birdsall with us in the Everlight Solar's studio too. And we do have a siding and limited poll question that we are throwing out to you. It is a landslide right now that we did ask the question, do the Packers need to get a day one starter with their first round pick? 75% of you say yes. You can chime in 844-770.
Goody says no.
3776.
Idiots.
On the Carbless Talking text line, list is more. Eric in Green Bay chimes in. I don't love Goody's response to the question regarding production out of round one picks, but I'm also curious if you had any thoughts on what would be a better answer. His first round picks have been underwhelming, to say the least. If he says yes, they need to be productive right away, he's basically admitting he's failing in this department. By saying no, it comes across as ignorant. Yeah, no, Eric, it wasn't necessarily.
I'd rather have someone admit to their faults and try and correct them than just play ignorant.
So how does he do that?
I know what that is. I don't.
How does he do that without?
Real easy. It depends on the player you see there. Sometimes we're going to see someone and we see potential that in the long term this player will develop into a star, and he can lie a little bit, like Rashawn Gary. He's turned into a Pro Bowler. We drafted him. We knew we had to develop him a little bit.
Like Jordan Love.
Right, like Jordan Love. And then he could say, other times we need someone that can come in and start right away. And ideally you get someone that matches the, and you use the word opportunity, matches the opportunity to play with their ability to play immediately. But we're not going to reach for a need as opposed to just drafting the best player available.
Everyone thinks like owning a mistake is such a, it's like, sure, yeah, you admitted to making a mistake, but isn't the most important part about making mistakes learning from them and then not doing them again? Like that's the whole point.
But it's also tricky to admit a mistake when the guy is still on the team.
But you don't have to, but I didn't admit a mistake there. I just brought up the good ones.
Right.
I don't understand. I don't know if these guys are arrogant or whatever, but the Packers, whether it's Jordan Love or Goody, like, can you just have someone in the room be like, hey, here's how you're supposed to answer these damn questions. This isn't
like a
hard.
PR person?
Yeah, but like a PR person is like actually media, not PR, like media training.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't rocket science. I came up with the top of my head. It's a fine. I gave you nothing. It's a fine answer. I don't have more background on these players than Goody does. This really isn't that hard. It is honestly insane how much these GMs and players sometimes fumble the bag.
I know what that is. We've never really used that.
Oh my God, that's Goody talking about how he doesn't use RAS scores at all. Slashy barely knows what it is.
Slashy's known for bringing guys in just because they're athletic.
It's like someone who like only drinks.
Oh, you mean my last couple of picks happen to be high RAS scores? Weird.
It's like someone who only drinks energy drinks.
What a coinky dink.
They're like, I've heard of coffee, I think, but I only drink energy drinks. Like,
we do have some analytic scores that our analytic people do on their own.
It'd be more like I've heard of Red Bull. I just drink Monster, but I've heard of Red Bull.
Right,
it's like you are literally doing they are verbatim the same thing.
True, yeah. But also, and I'm not going to get on to people in the room, but someone else should have followed up like, well, have you ever cross-referenced how close the RAS scores are to your scores? Are they similar? Are they dramatically different?
If they're really close, do you need to waste time and effort on your own scoring if it's the same thing?
Not to belabor the point, but I got questions. And again, in that scenario, like you got people like Wilde or Domofsky who are trying to crank out real information. You got a lot of TV people who are just looking to pound out some quotes. And so it's really, and then you got people from The Athletic or other places who are trying to write some story that's going to fluff it up a little bit. So like you're trying, like everyone's got an agenda, so it's really hard to like just dig in right there. So by no means am I getting after those who aren't asking those questions. But if I was in there, I would have a million more questions about this RAS score thing. Yeah. And let's hear Goody again, the answer on the RAS score, because honestly, right away, he's annoying about it.
Yeah, so we don't use RAS score at all. We don't have anything like that. We do have some analytic scores that our analytic people do on their own that measures.
Take that for data.
Athletic traits and other things. But we've never really used an RAS. I know what that is. We've never really used that in any whether it's free agency, the draft, or anything like that. So.
We don't do anything like that.
We
do have an analytics guy who does things on, ability and production. And,
it's like how, like here at ESPN, we obviously want to make sure we credit like ESPN reporters, and 9 times out of 10 they're first. But it's be like, I don't know who Ian Rappaport is, but Adam Schefter.
The answer was too disingenuous for me to believe.
Right.
He contradicted himself 5 seconds into that answer. And I was at that point, I'm like, I almost checked out.
We do have some analytic scores that our analytic people do on their own.
Do we talk to Jason tomorrow?
We sure do.
Great.
Well,
I can't wait.
You and Matt do.
True. Yes. We will miss you, Jim. So if you would like to submit your questions for Jason, we will take those. But I can't wait to ask Jason more questions.
Vetted, and then we might ask them. So
make sure they're good questions.
So you can tell Rutledge that.
No duds. I don't want any questions with high RAS scores, but no production.
A lot of potential with that question.
And again, back to poor Wilde in this scenario. Like, you can't just start like nitpicking. I'm sure Wilde on the side has been like, "Well, tell me more about this. Can I write a good reporter?"
Right.
Then that's the other part why people don't ask these questions, because a good reporter would be like, "Well, maybe I can get a little scoop here and get Goody to tell me more about their RAS score and how it compares, and get a little insight into it." Now, the only way it's going to happen is that you need like Van Ness to like blow up, so then they can kind of again reheat their own nachos and tell you about how great they taste. Like, well, our own RAS score had.
We're all going to be eating crow if Van Ness has a good season this year.
I hope I eat crow. I hope the guy does good. Like, I want to see him do well. I'm not hating on the guy. It's just when you were picked at 13,
so he goes out and get double-digit sacks next year. Are we?
Holly freaking Luya.
All right.
Yeah.
I think all Packers fans are eating crow at that point.
I don't think anybody has anything positive to say about
there
Lucas
might be
Van
like
Ness.
10% of the fan base on Twitter who is like still Lucas Van Ness like stans. I think everyone else is pretty much.
That's a high number.
Yeah, it's a high number. There might be one guy, if I'm being honest, one guy who keeps showing up in my
Lucas Van Ness fan page
with a bunch of
a bunch of burner accounts.
Burners, probably. Yeah.
Did you think he said burgers? Because I did too.
I thought he said murders. To be honest, at first.
Easy, Ryan.
That is your.
I thought he was trying to throw a diss at me. I was like, what does that even mean?
He's just hearing the things he wants to at this point.
I feel so. In 2023, he had 4 sacks. I feel like 2 or 3 of them came against Justin Fields, who holds onto the ball forever. And then in 2024, he had 3 sacks. And
That was
Two of
probably
them came
against
in that Falcon. Oh, is it
the
not
Titans
the Falcon?
game.
Titans.
Yeah. So it's
When they had like 15. I'm just kidding. That was an
9.
exaggeration, you guys. I knew it was
But
like
it's
8
still-
or 9.
not
But
that far
Nine
off.
is still
Relax.
crazy.
I got to look up who the quarterbacks. I feel like it's Justin Fields and Will Levis is like 90% of his sacks.
Probably. Didn't Rashawn Gary crush in that game too against the
Yeah.
Titans?
Everyone
Probably
showed
crushed.
out.
He could probably thank his Pro Bowl nod to the Titans.
Does he have a Pro Bowl? Because didn't the thing that
last year.
Jim just read
Last
was
year.
all
Well,
the amount
Gary
of Pro Bowls?
was 6 years ago, and that was 5 years.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So Gary does have a Pro Bowl. Last year, he made the Pro Bowl.
Gotcha.
9 sacks, fan
Yeah,
favorite.
still has never hit double-digit sacks.
Fan favorite? Who's he a fan favorite of?
Me.
Because he's
Matt.
not mine.
Me.
It's literally one fan favorite.
It's just because he's digging in against me
It's-
because whenever we started hosting together, I'm like, this is a terrible thing.
I'm
Like,
nuts.
Yeah, and I've been pro Rashawn Gary for a while.
Who's your guy in this draft, Matt? Oh wait, did we save that to Wednesday? Who's his dream guy?
Yeah, that's Wednesday.
He had 7.5 sacks last year, 9 sacks the year before.
Gotcha. But, like, a lot of pressures.
Pressure.
Pressures are
Samar
important.
Stewart's going
Philly?
to fit right in. He had a lot of pressures at Texas A&M.
That's what I'm thinking.
I can't wait to have a defensive line that gets no sacks.
In
Pressure.
6 years, he has 39 career sacks.
So what is the average of that? 40 divided by 6. Math, Ryan.
Wait, 40? I thought you said 39.
He did say 39, but if you round it up to 40, that seems like it's going to be easier.
Nice, clean number.
Or you can lower it to 36, and then that's about 6 per season. There you go. Bam, bam,
Well,
Bigelow.
36 divided by 6 is 6, and then you...
Okay, and then add a couple decimals.
6.5.
That's it.
6.5.
A
Yeah.
season?
Okay, so pretty
Well,
close.
one season was after, like,
But you made it
6
harder
weeks he
by
was
making
out.
it 40.
Nah.
Yeah, but that was like his best season. He had 6 sacks that year.
Yeah.
In
Then
9
he got
games.
injured. He was on pace for 20 sacks that season.
Take that for data.
Well, he played 9 games and then he had 6 sacks. He was already.
Okay, so he was on pace for 12.
And the worst part about this is he doesn't like demand double teams, so it's not like he's just drawing attention to like make Van Ness's life easier. Obviously, because Van Ness's life was pretty damn hard. We're gonna throw some stones on the other side.
Sounds like we have been.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Come on, Matt. You're the fantasy football guy.
I know, but like we're pretty far removed from fantasy last
It
year.
is.
Like,
And honestly, you're into tight ends. Like,
Oh.
I knew how that was going to sound before I said it, but I didn't mean it like.
okay.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on 2 wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. 0 in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why less is more with Carbliss.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo at the Bridges. On Saturday, May 3rd, play in a 2 or 4 person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and a Mexican feast. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me. That could my seat.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, obviously, Not Like Us is the iconic song from Lamar, but I love this song from Kendrick Lamar. This just makes me want to dance. When I hear this music, it makes me want to dance, Molly Brown. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Matt Hamilton with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Chrissy Birdsall in here with us as well. Primetime Willishan behind the glass. You guys, is this, where do you guys put this in your Kendrick Lamar playlist?
So I do really like this song, but I don't know if you guys watched much of the NBA playoffs this weekend, but I swear to God, the only song that they were playing was this, it was one of these by Kendrick Lamar. I can't remember if it was this song or the other one.
Luther? That's another popular one from him right now.
No idea. And, yeah. So I just feel like I've heard Kendrick Lamar over and over and over, and it's literally been the exact same song. I don't think it was this one, though.
Is he approaching Taylor Swift territory?
There's another one that he did that's super popular and played all the time. He was featured in a SZA song.
Oh, yeah, that could be too, yeah.
That's super popular right now.
Yeah. And then it's almost like equivalent to that Fiend song that's always on the Gatorade commercials, where it's like, Fiend, Fiend, Fiend,
Oh.
Fiend. That plays all the time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Watch the NBA playoffs tonight. I don't know if
know
that's
what
like the
you
theme
mean.
song. Maybe that's only ESPN. I don't know. But it's just every single commercial break is the exact same Kendrick Lamar song. It's ridiculous.
It's too bad because I do feel like that one's getting overplayed a little bit.
Which one?
The one that we just
Not
played?
Like Us, yeah.
That's not Like Us.
What were we just playing?
That's Squabble Up.
Oh, Squabble Up? Oh, I feel like I hear it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, to the point you
overplayed,
conflated it with
Yeah,
Not Like Us. I
exactly.
get it. Yeah. All right, let's throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man. I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Jim, do you think that over the weekend, Tony Snell was out somewhere watching the NBA playoffs and texted Kyle Kuzma, hey, bro, not like us.
Thank you.
Not like us.
You got to give a little context to Tony Snell.
Okay, well, Tony Snell, famous NBA basketball player, famous Buck as well, for putting up the iconic 0-0-0-0-0 box score in over 20 minutes played. And guys, I'm pretty sure I heard on the broadcast this past Saturday of the Bucks game when they got destroyed by the Indiana Pacers that Kyle Kuzma became the first player in NBA playoff history, to have a 0-0-0-0-0 box score in over 20 minutes played in a playoff game. So it's a tough performance for Kyle Kuzma. Almost as tough as what Kyle Wallace said about Kyle Kuzma on Friday leading into the Bucks game on KBN. Let's hear what he had to say, guys.
Inside their damn minds.
Mark it. Listen, Kyle's best bet. My best bet is that Kyle Kuzma goes out there and plays a big role tomorrow.
What does that mean? What quantify that?
3 threes tomorrow.
3 threes.
3 holes.
I bet you the over-under is probably 1.5, and it doesn't even go up to 2.5.
Kyle Kuzma tomorrow is going to score 17-plus points.
All right.
17
All right,
points.
let's do this.
Go. 17-plus points for Kyle Kuzma tomorrow.
There's a good chance that he'll go 2 games without scoring 17 total points.
He might get 3 threes in the entire series.
Also,
I mean, let's be real. At this rate, he's not going to have any points at the end of the series. He won't have any made 3-pointers.
Well, and also
We're
3
projecting,
games left.
We're projecting like Rashawn Gary's stats here.
Right. So, a couple things to
Whoa.
note. One, Torian Prince also did not cover himself in glory. He had 0 points, but he did grab 2 rebounds and had 3 assists. But he played 20 minutes, shot the ball 1 time, missed it, and then grabbed 3.
What was there, like 14 points off the bench? Isn't that what what the stat was?
That seems high. That seemed high. Yeah.
And Giannis even had 36, right?
Yeah.
Giannis was brutal.
That game went exactly how I predicted the series. Bucks lose in 6, and Giannis plays out of his mind.
But do you think that, I mean, I know that like the talk of the town right now is Dame coming back potentially for the next game, which is tomorrow. Like,
He is
does that make
questionable for the game tomorrow.
Right, he was elevated to questionable, but does that make a difference? Do you think he's actually going to be playing that much? Like, how much are they going to really put him in after coming off of a blood clot?
He needs to play every game because that was a bloodbath against Indiana. So I don't know.
What's he playing? Over 30 minutes?
They said
To
his
me, that's a
conditioning
lot.
is apparently still high. Like he was able to do some sort of non-contact conditioning, which I assume is just
ride
biking
or rowing.
Rowing, like swimming, whatever it is.
Curling.
Curling. True.
Yeah.
Is that conditioning? Matt, how conditioning?
I mean, I think you can drink a beer while you
And
curl,
actually, I
can't
wouldn't
you?
want to push it off with that
If you're
calf.
good.
I wouldn't want him pushing off with that calf either.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, like I did see that Doc tried to cover up a little bit for Kuzma, but with only taking 5 shots. But also, I think that was him trying to like mask the criticism for his guy because he only played 20 minutes. Kuzma usually, I think, since the trade plays closer to like 30 to 32 minutes, so he got 12 less minutes in that game. So I think
Couldn't
Doc,
get rolling.
What's that?
He couldn't get rolling.
No, I think Doc was like knew that Kuzma was God knows where on Saturday, so they're like, all right, we're just gonna have to sit you. Unfortunately, there was nobody else to play.
I think he probably plays fewer minutes now that Bobby's back too, because they are kind of redundant players.
I barely even noticed Bobby. The only time I noticed him was when the crowd started saying like I
F you,
can't
Bobby.
Yeah. That's the only time that I even noticed he was on the court.
So
Sorry.
the standout stat that I think you were looking at, they actually had like 40 plus off the bench.
Oh.
But the standout stat was of the starters, Giannis had 36. The rest of the starters had 11.
That's what
okay.
it was.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, your
Yep.
Brooke Lopez prediction, Molly, too. Not
great.
looking great, right?
Did he have any 3-pointers?
0 for 2.
I don't even know when
Yeah.
they scored their first 3-pointer.
I think they hit like 5 3-pointers in the game. Matt, am I
It was
right?
brutal.
9 in total.
9 in total. It was like 3 in the first half.
But they only had 1 out of a starter.
Ugh.
Pat Connaughton came in for 1 minute, hit a 3, and back to the bench he went.
Good for him. Good
No,
for
the,
him.
the
AJ
winner,
Green had a
AJ
good
Green
game.
had 5.
He did.
He was 5 for
Okay.
11 from 3-point line.
I like him. Side note, did you guys watch a lot of the NBA this weekend? It was horrendous. Like, I saw Trae Young said that, we play 82 games in a season. You should know who should be in the playoffs. Like, there were teams that you watch. I mean, maybe it's just OKC is so damn good that the Grizzlies look bad, but, like, Grizzlies shouldn't be in the playoffs. Like, the play-in games, I'm all for more basketball, but, like, I'm out on that.
Who the Grizzlies beat? Like
They beat the Mavericks.
The Mavericks, like they were the
I mean,
OKC was gonna throttle the Mavericks.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I
it's not
know.
gonna be
No, I know, but
solved
I'm
there.
saying, like, that
The
just
Mavericks
shouldn't.
actually had a losing record.
Like,
in the
I
play-in
get what
game.
you're saying. 'cause
They
the
weren't
games
even
were-
500.
I thought there were some good games. So the games weren't close, but like the underdog Minnesota Timberwolves beat the snot out of the Lakers. The underdog Golden State Warriors beat the snot out of the 2 seeds. So they were lower seeds on
Fair.
the road playing amazing basketball. Now, to your point, the other teams played like trash, and so it wasn't good. The Knicks game against the Detroit Pistons, the Knicks came back late
Yep.
and won that game. And
The
so-
Heat Cavs game was good until probably the last 4 minutes of the
Until
game.
Ty Jerome caught fire.
Yeah.
Scored, what was it, 16 points in the fourth
Yeah,
quarter?
that was crazy.
But yeah, there are some teams. Unfortunately, there's just not enough good teams in the league. But you're always in this weird transition that, like, you don't know what these teams are trying to do, and some teams are, like, the Heat, they haven't picked a lane.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just perpetual. Then they beat the Bulls, and I think they've beaten the Bulls like 3 years in a row in the play-in series because these teams are all just in the same spot.
Well, we're hoping that it's Dame time tomorrow evening for the Bucks game 2 against the Pacers, but it is Dame time on season 4 of Behind the Bucks podcast presented by Gallagher. Explore Bucks superstar Damian Lillard's unlikely journey from a 2-star high school prospect to a top 75 player in NBA history. Narrated by senior NBA insider Chris Haynes, this series reveals exclusive details of Dame's trade to the Bucks and experience with the team. Find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. But Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Who just Who was that?
That was Molly.
Okay.
Molly's a snorter, and she makes weird noises when she laughs.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Live the high life at Nitty Gritty, home of the famous Gritty Burger in Madison's official birthday place. Celebrate your birthday at Nitty Gritty and receive a free memento birthday mug to fill with free beer, specialty birthday cocktails, or soda all day long. The Nitty Gritty has celebrated almost 900,000 birthdays, and birthday celebrant number 900,000 will receive a $1,000 Amex gift card. Grab some friends and celebrate your birthday at the Nitty Gritty, located in Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The Nitty Gritty, a tradition since 1968.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life.
Hey, this is Gene Cho, Bucky from 03 to 05. Most memorable moment? Definitely getting arrested at a football game for crowd surfing as Bucky. Oof, maybe not the best shining moment for Bucky.
Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Get the
beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris give playoff reactions on the pod. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho.
Craig Yoho, a top prospect for the Milwaukee Brewers, has been called up to the Milwaukee Brewers. Corresponding moves: Logan Henderson, option to AAA Nashville. And then this is probably some Metro Kia breaking news brought to you by our good friends at Metro Kia of Madison and Metro Ford of Madison. Nestor Cortez, the pitcher they acquired in the Devin Williams trade, transferred to the 60-day DL. So that's not good news.
Prospect. Just training him up.
Nestor wait, what?
He's not a prospect, though.
I know.
Nestor's an older player. Nestor
getting him
Cortez on the 60-day injured list.
Yeah. Oh, well. Who needs pitching?
Yeah, I mean, when you give up Devin Williams for a guy that throws 5 innings for you, you got to do that every time.
Hey, Craig Yoho is the next Devin Williams. I don't know if you realize, Jim.
Yeah, so my brother's very excited about it. Craig Yoho, he's going to be a winner. You can be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. But Craig Yoho is a big-time prospect. Rumor has it he has an airbender pitch similar to Devin Williams. I'll be honest, I haven't seen him pitch. I know he's got a 0.
You didn't watch every spring training game?
He's got a 0.00 ERA. He's a highly regarded prospect, 18th in the Brewers system. The Brewers have one of the best systems in baseball, and for a pitcher, he's higher up on that list as well. So
yeah. So during spring training, people were comparing his changeup to Devin Williams' iconic airbender changeup. So that's a lofty comparison. And if he ever reaches Devin Williams' category, that's an insane result for the Brewers. But he could very well be a very solid starter option for them, and maybe a guy who could be a wipeout closer later on in his career, probably. But yeah, I mean, the Brewers need all the pitching help they can get. And I mean, Logan Henderson, the guy who they actually just sent down to, he had 9 strikeouts in his debut on Sunday too.
Yep.
He was dealing. So I mean, they got guys in the stable, but losing the guy who you traded for Devin Williams and was supposed to be an immediate impact guy for you this year is bad.
Well, and Cortez is someone that you thought would be an innings eater. Like when you have young players like Yoho, best case scenario, I don't know if they want him to throw more than 100 innings, for a young player. I don't know his full pitch philosophy, and they got a player from the Red Sox who's also young.
Quinn Priester.
You got a bunch of young guys who haven't thrown but 100 innings in this year. If that, now you usually want to get, nowadays, 150 to 180, 200's elite. So they got a lot of young arms.
We'll see. They do like to rotate him. A lot of rotation.
They do. I'm off tomorrow.
What? We don't stick with a guy for more than 5 innings to start a game anyway.
Fair.
I'm off tomorrow. It'll be Matt and Molly. This is Jim, Matt and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Celebrate